straight back into the match. I actually have to put the volume back on for StarCraft. That's probably a good idea. And then we're going to get going here on Xel'Naga Caverns.
So we are heading into all take over here, guys. Thank you for tuning back in. We are heading into the second match tonight. We're still in the round of 32. We see Minigun from Team Root here spawning as the the teal toss in the southwestern position, and in the northeastern position, the Dynamite Terran green playing as green. Col.Stalife actually playing for Team Complexity. Not able to do another name change, but that is Col.Stalife. So Stalife versus Minigun should be a great match here. Want to say a special thanks to all the players. We get a little bit of a leg there from Stalife. Hopefully it evens out for him. He did drop in the last game. Special thanks to all of our sponsors here. This particular match in the round of 32 has been set up by Justin TV. Want to say how incredibly easy it is to use Justin TV's streaming services. Anyone can begin streaming with just a few quick steps. Start by going to www.justin.tv, enter 4 basic pieces of information, click allow, and then that's it. You're done. So check out Justin TV for all your streaming needs and help support a company who is supporting esports. And Justin TV is doing just that, coming up for the second tournament to sponsor here, Team Root, and then obviously putting out tons of different categories. They're changing their setup to support gaming, so please check them out in the future, guys. An awesome company, awesome organization, and they are really cool guys, actually. So please check them out if you guys are thinking about getting into streaming StarCraft.
Yeah, also, just want to say that, you know, Justin TV has done an excellent job. Basically, just saying that they want to support gaming and removing all the limits that exist for any gaming stream. It doesn't matter where you're watching from, you will always be able to watch a gaming stream if it is marked correctly. There has been some confusion over this recently, so if you do see something pop up that says, you know, maximum numbers of viewers reached, just contact the streamer and let them know that their stream is not marked properly, because Justin TV has gone to good lengths of saying that all gamers who are streaming on their website do not have to worry about any sorts of viewer limits at all. So do want to give them an extra shout out for that, as they are sponsoring this particular matchup. And you can see that Minigun actually got into Starlight's base, took the second gas. Most of the time that's not going to be a very big deal in this matchup, but basically what it does is Minigun is saying, I will pay 75 minerals to limit your build in the early game, so don't have to worry about anything like super quick Pre-Igniter Hellions, which are becoming more popular here in Terran versus Protoss. Don't have to worry about Cloak Banshees. Just going to be able to sit here and say, okay, I know what you're going to be doing now because you only have 1 gas. So we'll have to see how he progresses on, but he's going to be feeling quite a bit safer here in the early game because of that assimilator, and he's deciding that that 75 minerals is quite worth it. Col.Stalife is going to pause, try and fix his lag issue, so we're going to have to hang out here for just a little while longer. Once again, this is Real Coon and Iced here for Root Gaming. Do make sure that you visit root-gaming.com. The home of Root Gaming, who are putting on this Invitational, and all those other sponsors that you see on the right-hand side of the screen, as they've all contributed to the prize pool.
Yeah, all games I'm going to be recording as well tonight. I actually started doing that last set. They're all going to be posted on the Root YouTube as well. So check that out, youtube.com/rootgaming as well. Really good sets up there. We're going to try to get a little bit more content going eventually onto there. More exclusive stuff from your favorite players. People like Minigun, of course, Drewby, Cats, and those guys. So tons of fun to see those guys mess around in games. The one thing I noticed about this build while we're still on pause break, this is going to force Col.Stalife to get onto more racks, or possibly you expand really a lot quicker, but I don't know, it's really kind of dicey. I guess you are okay facing a Barracks Terran with sentries. Sentries are a great answer to most Terran play at all, but forcing him onto it does kind of bring open like an early Marauder or something like that. So we'll see if what he does, but Col.Stalife is going to throw out 2 more racks, a 4th rack now. So this is what I was worried about. You're gonna push the Terran into a 4 racks kind of. Okay, well, I guess I can't do Banshees. I can't do like quick siege tanks with siege. I have to just pound your face in, and now you gotta be careful because he's only got 1 gateway up, 2nd gateway in production, 3rd gateway coming up now. Warp Gate's coming out, a Sentry coming out, but very, very limited. Minigun's going to have to rely very heavily on sentries into the game. He is getting a second sentry out, which is genius. I guess he did see the racks. He did see the 3 racks, so he is playing that perfectly. But Col.Stalife is, like I said, being forced onto this kind of multi-mass racks, and this can end one of two ways. It's kind of a coin toss, but it comes down to your micro and your sentry ability, truthfully.
Yeah, and Minigun's playing this really well. Like you said, he forced him into one particular style of play. Either Col.Stalife is going to have to go for a really early aggressive expansion, or he's just going to have to drop a lot of barracks and make lots of bio. So what he's doing is he's playing just the generally very safe build for the Protoss. Is just a 3-gate expand with sentries. It's exactly what he's doing right now, saving up enough minerals to get that Nexus down, to be warping in a couple more units just to make sure he's all right before he does that. But he's on a 3-gate. He'll be able to get, you know, a good number of units on the field. If he keeps his sentry count up to a reasonable amount, he's going to be hold off pretty much any amount of bio in this early game. And then get his Nexus up in a pretty reasonable amount of time. And Col.Stalife on 4 barracks is going to be delaying his expansion for quite some time, really aggressively one-basing it for some time here. So we can see that Col.Stalife is going to be pushing out. Minigun does have this watchtower, so we'll see him coming, and he should be able to withdraw in time. A little bit of a lag spike there, but you can see that he is able to get away here. Col.Stalife is not choosing to stim up because stim is not done yet. LOL. I was wondering about that. So this slow stim timing is going to make this really difficult, as he would have been able to throw out a stim on a couple of Marines. Maybe like if he stimmed up 3 or 4 Marines, possibly bait out a force field from Minigun to lower his sentry energy. But since that upgrade is not available yet, he can't do anything too tricky like that. Just going to have to wait. With quite a few units here. That's a lot of Marines and medics, but here comes the force field, not quite chopping them off, but there goes the secondary one, doing a good job. Guardian shields going up. Look at him taking out just half the army for free, without taking really any losses. 1 Stalker, and that's just about it. Really good micro here from Minigun. The rest of these forces here by Col.Stalife getting chased away. Excellent job by Minigun, really controlling the flow of this early game. He's going to be able to drop a Nexus basically anytime he wants now, and Col.Stalife is going to have to sit in his base just waiting for the impending attack, because if he doesn't prepare for one, then he could just get rolled. But of course, with him being that defensive, Minigun can just sit there, expand, and just get so far ahead. So really like the play here in the early game by Minigun, especially cutting off these Marines and Marauders so they can't get into the base, trapping them over here before he can reinforce those with the rest on the high ground. Just excellent play here by Minigun.
Yeah, Minigun's going to set up a forward proxy pylon. Minigun does need to be careful. Those sentries are critical. There's one at really low health there. He's going to push into the base here. I don't think Col.Stalife should have engaged that very first attack until he had stim. He is going to pick off these sentries. He's missing 1 sentry there. SCV is doing a great job of tanking damage. So they're going to force out the stalkers. The second sentry does fall. Concussive shell is not researched for Col.Stalife. It looks like he's going to pull. Oh, he's going to push even more in. So Minigun just on the three warp gates. So he only has a handful of stalkers and zealots over there on the side. We can see kind of retreating back. He is going to need to reinforce those sentry numbers. Sentries are immensely critical versus the obviously the Marauder Marine Ballast. Being able to zone the army out as well as use the Guardian Shield is just super critical. Col.Stalife is just going to stick to this 1 base all in. I think he's producing a few more SCVs. He has not even taken the second gas. You forced his hand kind of thing, so hopefully Minigun can hold in here. He's still a little light on sentries. Minigun, there you go. 2 more coming, 3 more, there you go.
Because of those pylons that went down. So
right.
Pylons, warped in a couple more sentries. And this is the issue here. He has had all these SCVs off the line for quite some time. He's only on 20 anyways. And there's a lot of them here with his army. So Col.Stalife is going to try and set up down here, but Minigun's going to hold off pretty much anything with some force fields from these sentries. Col.Stalife isn't going to be able to do much here unless he buys enough time to get an expansion out. That's really what he wants to do here. Does not want to go super all in with this. You can see he's setting up these bunkers. If he can just delay Minigun long enough that he can drop a command center, then he'll be all right. But Minigun looks like he's going to bust this open, realizing that he cannot let this happen. Pulling probes with as well, so that is going to even out that macro game here. Warping in more forces to roll over. Col.Stalife is really dangerous here by Minigun, as almost all of his probes are here out on the front lines. Col.Stalife down to 13 workers, but Minigun losing a lot of his own as well. So this could just wind up evening out the game here. As you can see that Col.Stalife did kind of draw even here with Minigun in forces. And now the worker count is 14 to 18. Minigun is not quite as far ahead as he was previously. I think maybe if he'd waited for an Immortal out of this robotics facility, then broken it, would have been a slightly better decision. But if you look at the resource count, their food differences are now only 7 from about a 30 food difference. Their worker counts are now pretty much even. Minigun really letting Select back into the game here, just not waiting long enough to break that attack.
That's one of the dangers of forcing the Terran onto this kind of super aggressive gateway play, or barracks play, of course, is that you need to make sure that you do have the right sentry numbers, and Immortal something to make sure you can break that, because he is going to be producing quite a bit more than you are for this point of the game. And until Minigun can get this this Nexus up, he's desperately trying to get this Nexus up. It's going to be denied for the second time here, I believe. He is going to engage. Yeah, not advisable for Minigun to engage here. The Immortal is not out just yet. The Nexus does get cancelled, so Col.Stalife does deny the Nexus again. Col.Stalife is running really low on resources, or getting low on resources, so he is going to be very careful. Bunker on the low ground for Col.Stalife, so he's just going to set up shop. Scout factory coming in for Col.Stalife, so he's going to be able to see up on the high ground, start taking pot shots and outrange those Stalkers and that Immortal. We'll see, though, if they have what it takes. He's going to snipe the Immortal. Oh, he is going to get the Immortal, but mostly he has the rest of the units trapped. There's a good game for Col.Stalife, realizing that, yeah, that was a lot to get that Immortal. Minigun playing really good. Veto it. Minigun now.
Yeah,
as he did go that a little early.